Well, hello. Take two. Hello, all. It's Sunday, February 2nd, 2025. It's Groundhog Day, so hopefully I won't be doing this video over and over and over again. As you can see the thumbnail, I'm talking about the music of 1985. 40 years ago. Oh, you gave that sign. Stop it. 40 years ago. Wow. Now, there's a lot of channels that are doing this, and they're probably doing it better than I am. But I'm just giving my take, and I'll give a little personal anecdotes and stories along the way. Maybe of seeing certain bands in concert or whatnot. Yeah, so, 85. Glorious year, 40 years ago. And I was thinking about it, I was talking to my friend about it. That would be like, because we're reminiscing now. Now, 40 years ago in 1985, people reminiscing would be reminiscing about 1945. Let that rattle around your head. Look how much things have changed. Look how much things have changed since 1985. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of channels doing this. I think Sea of Tranquility's doing it. Andy Edwards. Who else is doing it? I've seen a bunch, but those are the people I generally watch. As far as music, I watch Rick Beato. I watch Brendan Schneider. These are all good music channels. They talk about good stuff, and, that's what I do. That's what I do. Other than my other types of videos I watch and make. But 1985 was just a great year for music, movies, all kinds of. We were always doing something. We always had something planned. Whether it was just get-togethers, little cake parties, little house parties, school stuff, barbecues, plenty of concerts, plenty of cool movies, and such. MTV was big at the time. This was prior to them having basement tapes, and I think Headbangers Ball and 120 Minutes. This was all prior to that, which were great shows. MTV, does MTV even exist anymore? Really, does it exist in any type of music format anymore? I don't know. I don't watch it. VH1, all that. So a lot of the other channels, they're going way back. They're going back to 1965 and 1975. While there's many great albums from those eras that I bought, I'm focusing on, I think, probably 85 and 95, because those are the years that I actually bought these albums upon their release. So that's the difference. 75, I really wasn't buying albums. I had albums. It took me many years later to buy the albums from 75 and 65. As an infant in 65, I wasn't buying albums. But anyway, shall we begin? Let me get this. Prior to 85, I mostly listened, to a lot of classic rock stuff. Listened to a lot of metal, lots of metal. That was my thing. That was my jam. But then I started getting into around 83, started getting into a lot of what they called alternative music or alt rock. And it was just called alternative music. And I discovered a radio station called WLIR out of Long Island that just introduced you to a lot of these bands. Prior to that, you should just listen to, I think it was K-Rock and NEW, but WNEW. But still, lots of concerts, going all kinds of concerts. So let's begin. No particular order of this list. Is some I left out that I haven't put in here. Maybe I'll mention at the end. I don't know. Let's begin. We have Squeeze, Cozy Fun, Tutti Frutti. Saw them for this tour. Saw them at a club in Alphabet City called ABC. Was it ABC? I think it was ABC. Or was it The World? I forget. Anyway, it was in Alphabet City. I think it was I forget. I think it was the world. I don't know. A long time ago. Give me a break. Fantastic. This is like one of the odd ducks in their canon. It's actually my favorite album by them. It's just got so many good things on it. It's weird. It's a weird, almost psychedelia album. But there, Cosi fan tutti frutti and that's a play on Mozart and Chuck Berry. Anyway, then we have John Cougar Mellencamp, Scarecrow. Never saw John Cougar, but this is a fantastic album. Rain on a Scarecrow, Small Town, Minutes to Memories, Lonely All Night, Rockin' in the USA. This is just there, just before he dropped the Cougar part. He's a bit of a curmudgeon now. I never saw him in concert. He seems to be a bit of a curmudgeon. He seems to be looking a little odd too. I don't know. That's just my opinion. My weird opinions. Then we had this. This is a compilation album, Catching Up with Depeche Mode. This is kind of I'd gotten into Depeche Mode with the song "People Are People," which is not on it. It was on the album before this. I think it was Construction Time again. I forget. But anyway, they had 3 new songs on here. Somebody, they had a couple of new songs. They had Shake the Disease, Flexible, It's Called a Heart, and Fly on a Windscreen. Different version that would appear on their album Black Celebration a year later. Just loved the record. Shake the Disease, one of their best songs. Just absolutely love it. Then we have a local band that I was actually used to follow. Saw them at Lemore's. Overkill, yes. These guys were good, man. With Bobby Blitz at the time. Bobby Gustafson, who I used to talk to a lot. We used to be at different parties. This band that we were at. This is a fantastic album. This was at the height of metal, actually, speed metal, thrash metal started really taking off. But this is their debut. Feel the Fire, Overkill. Then we have this little gem, which currently had a resurgence. Kate Bush, Hounds of Love. This is an interesting album. Hounds of Love, which is side 1, and then side 2, The Ninth Wave, which is almost like a concept. It's just a weird pop avant-garde album. Fantastic stuff. Never saw her either. Then we have The Alarm, Strength. This is their second album. Great album. Saw this band at the Ritz and the Beacon Theater. Just really good stuff. They were really should have been a lot bigger than they were. Then we had from the remnants of Bauhaus. We had Lovin' Rockets, Seventh Dream of Teenage Heaven. This is such a great atmospheric album. I actually like Lovin' Rockets more than I like Bauhaus. It's just me. Then we had This Is When these guys. Now I heard them with the album before this, but this is kind of when they really started to break. In Excess, Listen Like Thieves, which is this happens to be my favorite In Excess album. What You Need. What an infectious groove on that. Big hit. I think went top 10. Now, I don't know. I didn't go through the release dates on this. So, like I said, these are in no particular order of my favorites up until the top 5. I think there's like 20 albums here. Didn't even count that. Oh, well. In Excess, Listen Like Thieves. Pete Townsend, White City. I think it's like third solo album. I don't know. I like this. The Give Blood's a great song. Face to Face. White City Fighting, Crashing in Design. Good album. This was a big album. Saw these guys. Definitely saw these guys. Simple Minds. Once Upon a Time. Saw them at Radio City Music Hall for this tour. I saw Lovin' Rockets. I actually saw In Excess too for this tour. Saw them for this tour, and I saw them at Radio City for this. The INXS I saw at Beacon Deer. Yeah, this was some good stuff. They were just coming off the Don't You Forget About Me massive single, which ironically they didn't write, which was on the Breakfast Club soundtrack movie of '85, one of those John Hughes films. This also came out. I saw them on this tour with Ted Nugent opening up at Madison Square Garden. This is when they kind of cleaned themselves up. This is prior to them breaking out with the re-release of Walk This Way with Run DMC, Done with Mirrors. This is a solid album. I like this album a lot too. Then we had Jimmy Page and Paul Rodgers, Project The Firm. Another good album, man. Good album. Big song off of here was actually Radioactive. Did a cover version of You Lost That Love and Feeling. I don't know what that's all about. Let me sit up. I keep falling behind the microphone. Sit up, stand up straight, sit up straight, fix your back. This, Slave to the Rhythm, Grace Jones. She was way ahead of the curve. She used to put out these 12-inch singles. She was like a fashion model, but she was out there. But she was definitely alternative. Dance, rock, club scene. Slave to the Rhythm. What a good song. This is just... Video's really good, too. Saw this guy in concert at Radio City for this tour. No jacket required. Phil Collins. Lots of Susudia, which... That song doesn't... I like this song. You know, not that I'm Patrick Bateman or anything, but I just really like the song. One More Night. Just a good song. Take Me Home. Solid. This guy, not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Not in the... Strikes me as odd. Just saying. This guy was a hit juggernaut. I saw these guys. This big audio dynamite. That's Mick Jones from The Clash. So this whole album is just a put it on, listen to. Once again, they really started just mixing samples, hip-hop beats, and 12-inch remixes, and just some good stuff. Just really great stuff. Misplaced Childhood by Marillion is the album that broke Marillion in the United States. Now, I didn't see him on his tour. I saw him on the following tour, Clutching at Straws, opening for Rush at Radio City Music Hall. Solid album. Of course, everybody knows the song Kaylee on here, and Lavender, Pseudo Silk Kimono, just the opening track. It's a good concept album. Prog rock. They were kind of like the second wave of prog rock at the time. Okay, now we're at our top 5. Low Life by New Order. Perfect Kiss. Another band way ahead of their time. Yeah, this is just a great... I love New Order. Of course, they came from the remnants of Joy Division. Then what do we have? The Smiths. The Smiths' second album, Meat is Murder. What's interesting is, How Soon Is Now, which is on a lot of... it came out around this time, but it wasn't on this album. I think it was actually like a B-side or something, which it turned out to be one of their most famous songs. But it's not actually on this album. I think it's been re-released to be on this album. Okay, then what do we got here? The Cure, The Head on the Door. This is when I really started getting into The Cure. Saw them for this tour also. Never saw the Smiths, though. Who else was there? New Order I saw a couple of times. Not for that tour. I think I saw them on the Brotherhood tour. But anyway. Head on the Door. This is my favorite Cure album. And then, which I saw this tour also. Tears for Fears. Songs from the Big Chair. I remember this album was on constant replay in my house. Constant replay. And now we get to my favorite album of 1985. Could you guess? Could you guess? Well, I'll segue through it with a little video clip. So you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Ritz, the Cult.
The Cult, the Love album, fantastic. Now this is like an expanded edition, and it's got all their B-sides on it. Saw them on this tour three times I saw them on this tour. Once in '85 at the Ritz, the show that I just showed you. I was at that show. Yes, I was. I'm in the front row. You can see me. I went to my friend Carl there. But like I said, what a fun time! What an absolute fun time! And there's such a diversity of music. Somebody didn't even mention here Exodus's first album, Bonded by Blood. What else happened? Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits, which I do have. It's not one of my... It's a good album. It's a really good album. I should have put it in there. ABC, How to Be a Millionaire. What else? It's just... Oh, that summer they had Live Aid. Live Aid, we watched that. We all came over my house. We had a keg. I remember it was so hot that day. And back then we didn't have air conditioning. So we had the windows open. We had the spinny fans. Had my big box console, brown wood TV set. Had that on. I think the first person that performed was Billy Ocean. But, you know, we were all there to see Zeppelin and all U2 and Queen and all the other acts. But there you go. There's my list of wonderful albums from '85. Such a diverse time for music. So much good music. So much different types of music. Alas, a bygone era. But I just figured I'd share this with you. And those are my faves from the year 1985. And fortunately, I got to see a lot of them in concert. With that, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Leave, if I left anything out, leave a comment below of what's some record I didn't mention that maybe you thought was great in 1985, 40 years ago, on Groundhog Day. I'm doing this video. So maybe I'll do it again. Didn't I use that joke already? Bye-bye.